Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Evidence Compass with Rajib Timalsina from ASER-Nepal. ASER-Nepal is the annual Status of Education Report Nepal, hosted by Gali Gali. Welcome so much, Rajib, and thank you for taking the time to have this conversation with us. Please introduce yourself and tell our listeners and viewers a bit more about ASER-Nepal and what you do in Nepal.
Thank you very much, the entire PAL Network Communication team and Paul for organizing this wonderful podcast and also giving me opportunity to share my insights today. Yeah. I'm Rajib Timalsina. So I'm founder and director of ASER-Nepal. It is a citizen-led assessment initiative dedicated to measuring and impact, like improving foundational literacy and numeracy in Nepal. So we established almost 8 years ago in Nepal. Since then, we are focusing more on assessment, and now recently we started also working on the action, so to improve the learning poverty through the citizen-led assessment and action program. So that's the main our task.
Thank you so much for that background. So ASER-Nepal has been collecting data for years now and doing assessments and also learning interventions. From these initiatives that you've done, tell us a story of a child or a teacher or a village that you find very memorable that can help our viewers understand the impact of foundational learning.
I have many incidents in my life. For example, one incident I share. I remember the day a team of our ASER-Nepal team, they went for assessment in a southernmost bordering village in Sarlai district, and they reached one village, and that is entirely marginalized in a sense, like not only geography, also the community. They are all so-called untouchable community who are the below the pyramid. Yeah. And there are more than 200 children. Now our team found that only one children can read properly of grade 2 level text, and other one can recognize alphabets. All children, even not at later level. It was so shocking news for our team and myself. And then later, I remember some of the young people coming and saying, "Sir, I am traveling around this village for many years. Now I am in bachelor undergraduate. I'm studying myself, but I never realized the children in my village can't read." So that is a shame. So the face of the young volunteer was so red, and he really wanted to do something. So I found these two incidents: one showing the chronic learning poverty, and second, the young people trying to change something. So that is very important for the motivation wise. And I remember after that, with the collaboration with the PAL network, we together we designed citizen-led action program called My Village or Learning Village. And I went to visit nearby village, that village, after 2 years, and I met one child. She was I think 8 years, and she was in grade 4. And what she told me herself, 8 years old young girl, telling me, I am in grade 4 right now. I am 8 years. I didn't know how to read words, and I only knew how to read letters. Now in this program, in my village learning camp, I progressed from letters recognition to word reading, and slowly now I'm going towards the sentence. So I think this is the huge philosophy in PAL network, in our citizen assessment. We are trying to label children based on their progress, like with different labels. And children, 8 years old children, understood our basic formula, and they are themselves telling me that it was the day I really impressed with, 8 years old young kid understood what we are doing. We are improving, progressing on learning of children level by level, from beginner to letter level to word level to sentence reading to story reading. So they all are tracking themselves. That's the most powerful day in my life.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you bring up a very important part, the part of children being able to read, and especially those in marginalized areas, but also the involvement of the youth in conducting these surveys. If you could just tell our listeners how important it is for youth participation in initiatives like this, especially in them understanding the challenge of foundational learning in their communities, and also adding their voice to it.
Thank you, Paul. I think it's a very important point. One, involving youth ensures that the local people, the most energetic group, got the sense of what the problem, what the learning gap is in their village. So they are the one with full of energy. They want to do something. They want to change. They are the agent of change. I think that's kind of like motivating by the real life exposure. One. Second, as a CLA, I have seen not only Nepal, also other countries in PAL network family, we say cheapest citizen-led assessment surveys than other traditional conventional surveys. Why? Because we rely on community and young people. So relying on young people makes also our survey cheapest because we are not paying them as a salary. We just mobilize them as a volunteer. And third point, the ownership means many times the expert design the survey or research programs. The outsiders, they come in the community and they assess and they go. The villagers become the user, like kind of participants only. Someone comes, assess them, go back. They don't know what the data, how they are using. Here, we train the young people from the village, not only about how to conduct research, also how to analyze make simple tables, like distributed tables, how many children can read, how many children can do math. So the simple tables means young people got the skills and they conduct the assessment themselves in the community. So it's not outsider conducting research in their community. It's the people from their own community conducting assessment in their own community. So one, the ownership, community people also see their own people are trained. They know, they have skills. They are conducting assessment. Now they also have the evidence among themselves. So they have now motivation because when they see the problem, they are the one who can change at the local level. We don't need larger national level policy intervention to change many things because community, family, and young people can start working towards this improvement right there after the assessment.
Yeah. That's an incredible insight. And just to follow up, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, the education system is decentralized in Nepal in terms of how the governance structure of the education system. How does that contribute or affect the policies when it comes to implementing policies around education in the country?
I think Nepal has a wonderful legal framework. I think I have never seen other country that much decentralized in terms of education, because when we have new constitution in 2015, the constitution envisioned all the school education rights are given to local government, even not the province, not the central. Like it is given to local government. So local government can not only oversight, they can decide about schools, schooling, curriculum, all. But still, we don't have Education Act. So that people are still, Nepal is in the process in parliament for the last 2-3 years. I hope they have promised that this month they will pass, like they will roll out this new adoption of the new Education Act. But still, the local community varies. In urban metro towns, they have more resources, they have more capable people, and they have more technical supports from the. So we have rural areas where we have the population, they exactly don't know how to start, where to start. I think this kind of simple citizen-led assessment is very important in our context, where education is decentralized and where the constitution envisioned that local community taking over, like monitoring, mobilization, management, and arrangement of the school system. So I think these CLA exactly fit in our context, where the constitution envision how to ensure all children learn. That's the whole constitutional goal, along with the SDG 4.1.1. So I think in that process, we are really fitting in that bigger legal picture.
Yeah. That's incredible. We are looking forward for that Education Act in case it comes soon. What does the Education Act promise for Nepal in education?
It's a huge discussion ongoing right now for last 1 year, and even last month in April and April, we had largest teachers protest centralized in Kathmandu. Teachers from throughout the country came, and they were asking for the Education Act to be promulgated very soon. And there are a lot of debates ongoing right now about the whole future of the educational discourse in Nepal. One about the ownership, whether all education systems should be private or public or mixed, also about the how to mobilize teachers, because many teachers, they are wishing to now come back to the governance of the central government, but local government wants to keep them under local government education governance system, because like whole constitution envisions that. And there are even other kind of structure, like how to include early grade reading. That's a huge question right now, whether we keep preschooling as a part of school or separate. Because until now in Nepal, preschool is considered separate, not part of the schooling system 1 to 12, because preschool is zero, school is out of school, or it is just treated as a kind of piggy bag outside. So there's also discussion about how we can bring. So for us, like when we are grappling with all this chronic learning poverty, because we have seen the children in villages going to school for years and years, but even government is providing like free midday meal in many schools. And I think access wise, like enrollment, midday meal, all input school infrastructure getting very good in Nepal right now. If we look last 15 years, we can really praise the government's investment and also financial investment in the sector. But the problem now we are talking about is the chronic learning poverty, because children are in schools for years and years, but not being able to even get the basic proficiency of grade 1 or 2 level. So in that context, I think early grade reading, bringing to school, and then in this education, envisioning proper rights, how we envision schooling system and assessment system, and I think the whole pedagogy and the control management is very important, very crucial. So I think we are still waiting for the final act, but still there are a lot of discussion going on around this. Is no uniform solution until now.
Those are very rich conversations there, and that could have a lot of impact and trajectory about the education system. And just circling back to our CLAs, from your experience with CLAs and action, what have been the challenges and wins for citizen-led assessments and actions in Nepal so far?
Thank you for this question. Like, in last 8-9 years, if we list out our problems, one, the geographical diversity of Nepal is one, like logistical challenge for us to reach and manage and mobilize is a substantial challenge actually. Now, another one, conducting assessments in some mountainous area or some isolated plains, it requires, I think, significant resources or reliability. Means sometimes to reach certain only small population, we have to like spend a lot of resources and dedicated coordination, careful planning. So that requires a lot of technical and resources, all kind of resources. So another one challenge for us, we say, when we are working with the young people and the local community, the main challenge is the consistency, reliability, and accuracy in assessment. Because when we have community volunteers, and if we train right now, if we go after 3 months again to river, so we found the young people is the most volatile, most moving mass of group. So sometimes half of them are not in village. Now they already moved to other urban center to in search of job, or they migrated to out of country in search of work, or they are moving somewhere for education. So young people, when we even train them, of course they are trained and they have skills, but sometimes to keep them in the same village, to expect them they will support us long term in same village is challenging. It means we have to invest more on training again and again and again. It's one time training is not enough, because people are switching, changing, and moving. That one. Another one, in some villages, many villages in hills right now, it's very difficult to get youths who are capable of conducting assessments, or who at least can read the tools themselves. Even that we have very few youths in the villages right now, because of the huge migrations ongoing in this country, because of the in search of work and education out of the villages to our city, or out of country in the Gulf countries or other countries in search of work. So if you see also another challenge, I think I'll mention another one very important, that the skepticism from the government and the local communities when we started about the credibility of this citizen-driven data compared to traditional government or agency-generated data, because they have more reliability, more, I think, trust and ownership versus our community citizen-driven data. So now I think we are constantly working for the last 8 years, and also collectively working with PAL network, other partners, and so it's consistent, transparent, and reliable assessments has helped us to recover slowly to that skepticism and just getting more trust and more use value of our data and evidences.
Yeah, that's incredible, and thank you for giving us those challenges. It's, the geographical challenge is very real in Nepal, and that even gives more credit to the citizen-led assessments that are done in households, because then it captures children who would typically not be captured if assessments were purely done in school, and it gives a more broader perspective of the data that's collected. Now, we only have about 5 years to 2030. What does an ideal state of foundational learning look like for you, and what must be done to achieve it?
One, I think the constitution and all the law in Nepal, they envision that all children should have the minimum learning, right? That's education for all. But usually, if you see whatever our national assessment happening in last 20 years in this country, all are school-based. Means they are capturing school-based assessments. So if you look the primary net enrollment, it is almost 97%. That's almost universal. That makes sense for grade 1 because most of the children are in school. Only those are very rare and hard to reach are outside. But slowly the grades goes up. The dropout rate is so high, means around 15 to 20%. Means if you look overall, even I saw the census data, which was recently made public, full report, shows almost 30 to 35% of school-age children are not in schools. Means if you look all. So enrollment rate, 97%. But if you look grade 1 to 10, entire schooling, so almost 30% children are not in school. They already dropped out in the middle, somewhere in between. So when we aim for 2030 to ensure all is very ideal now. Our vision is to every child in Nepal, either whatever, like their socioeconomic background or caste group or ethnic group or geographical location. So we have a lot of intersections: geography, caste, ethnicity, religion, and socioeconomic strata, like the rich and poor. So 3, 4, and also gender, boys and girls. So we have to ensure the equity in learning, at least in foundational literacy. I don't know. We can't achieve universal primary education. I'm for sure that, because ensuring all children we have already achieved primary education, it seems impossible. But I think foundational literacy seems possible because with the structured intervention, structured robust and community-driven data and evidence-based teaching, like teaching at the right level or structural pedagogy or our my village. So whatever we have, this structured way of having learning camps or continuous improvement actions can be done in 5 years. Is a long time to achieve universal foundational literacy. So here now, even the government aims that universal primary education, which is I think not possible. But for us, I think as a CLA movement family members, we say it is doable, it is achievable in 3 or 4 years. Universal foundational literacy proficiency to the all children, if we have very structured and scale throughout the across the country with a strong aligning citizen-led assessment and citizen-led action together.
Yeah, that's incredible. And the enrollment rates and dropout rates is a worrying reflection, I think, for many countries across the global south. And foundational learning has been attributed to improve retention of children in school when they're able to get the basic reading and basic math skills. How can you explain this more to our viewers and listeners, the role of foundational learning in increasing retention in school?
I think that's the main point. The 1 or 2 instances, for example, I was a school teacher almost for 6 years. And I still remember that day when there was end of the year examination was ongoing of grade 5. And I was in the exam hall. I saw many children are asking, "Oh, teacher, please read out the question, read out the question." In Nepal, in primary grades, I see we have sit-in written exam, pen and paper test for all grades at the end of the year. And many children look for teachers to read out the question. Means our whole exam system assume they can read, they understand, and they expect them to write the answer. Means you give them written question, you expect them to write. even grade 3, grade 4, grade 5.
Yeah.
I have seen many children struggle. I saw children not writing anything in the paper. I asked them the question, they were answering. Means, question is not about they don't know. Question is
Yeah.
about the comprehension, because they are not able to read the written text. But if we orally read them out, they're understanding it. So what I'm saying here is this foundational learning is very important. Means, despite even they might have ability to answer the question, or for the life, like they can answer this very well, but they lack the reading comprehension ability, so that the learning equity is questionable. No, they are not able to compete with other people who are able to write. Means, here's a kind. I think another point I don't understand, because here in schools of Nepal, from very beginning, they focus on writing. Writing in every language, writing is the most hardest.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you look our ancestors, our parents or our grandparents, even they are not educated. My parents, like they can't read and they can't write, but they can listen, they can speak language. Means, the language starts with the listening first and speaking, and then only reading and then writing. But most of our school system, it starts from writing, the most difficult part. And many children are demotivated to go to school because they are being challenged with the hardest skill. Why can't we start from the easiest one, slowly progression towards the preparing them towards? So the more they are able to do, or they become champion of the skills, they enjoy going to school. So our schools are demotivating them to drop out. So when having foundational skills, I see many children in grade 5, 6, when they struggle a lot, even to read at grade 2 level, they even can't read properly. Teachers are assigning them homeworks. They're asking them, oh, do this, do that. They are not looking at their learning gap, or not providing any remedial support. They're just providing them curriculum support. It means grade 6 teachers are teaching grade 6 level contents, and children are even not at grade 2 level. Now we are delivering them grade 6, grade 7 level contents. So children are not understanding at all. So that is the huge, I think one of the main reason why children in the higher grades are dropping out is they are not able to understand, or they are not able to align with the curriculum or classroom pace. So when they are not aligning classroom pace, there's a high dropout. So I found the foundation literacy not only important for life functionality. Means, if they can read, they can read newspapers, they can do basic household chores, other like life skill, like life requirements or functionalities. Also, they can understand properly. Even if we don't have teachers in schools, many schools have lack of teachers. If children can read, if they get book, they can read themselves. Sometimes self-paced learning can happen when students have foundation literacy. So foundation literacy can support not only dropout, also in case of teachers' absence or lack of teachers in many communities, it can help children to start their self-paced learning and progress towards the success in life.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Because foundational learning just creates that excitement in a child to want to know more. But when they are pushed towards very complex skills, when they haven't gotten the basic ones, then the whole schooling system becomes very frustrating for a child. Yeah. So what is ASER-Nepal working towards? This vision of an ideal foundational learning system. We know they already the contribution ASER-Nepal has been doing with My Village and community learning, and even with assessments like ICA right now. What more is ASER-Nepal looking towards to do towards a foundational learning state, an ideal one?
So first of all, in Nepal, last 20-25 years, whole country has focused so much on enrollment. Even until now, every first week of the first month of the year, that's last Baisak, our Nepali first month in April, mid-April, whole schools and all stakeholders are mobilized in the village to ensure the enrollment. It means we have the enrollment movement campaigning. Usually government say that last 15 years. So that is success. Still, we have less conversation about the quality, what they are learning. So one of our maybe idea is focusing on the now not only on access, now shifting the whole conversation towards the quality, what they are learning. So they're shifting that conversation is very important through the lobby, advocacy, and conversation. Second, the data repository, because in Nepal, we have school-based assessment data, which reports school-going children, but at the curriculum level. Means all our national achievements happening at the curriculum level, grade 3, grade 5, grade 8, grade 10. So we are not reporting against the foundational literacy competences, like minimum benchmarking. Because here, if you look the ASER-Nepal data, when we have pegged with the grade 2 or grade 3 level minimum competency, despite of their age or grade, we administer same tool for all children. So it shows, like for example, the government achievement data shows 50% or 60% children in grade 8 are not achieving what they are supposed to achieve. That's only the what they can say. They can't dissect which children is what level. So I think the data from ASER-Nepal is very crucial. Of course, all CLA data. It not only say students are not at their level, it shows that who are at which level. Means how many children are beginner, how many children only can recognize letters, not more than harder skill than that, how many children can read word but not the sentence, how many children can read sentence, not the story, how many children can read a story, not the comprehension, how many children can comprehend the story. So I think giving this micro, like this description of each levels, we are unique. And I think one main vision is to ensure partnership, meaningful partnership with communities and other CSOs, local governments, and educational stakeholders to understand data and to create the national data repository. That's what we are working on right now. So we are working on working with the government. The government has new law, data law last year. They envisioned having national data repository. So we are trying to work with the government, at least like for the I care assessment, when we'll have this throughout like the country. The data will be also kept in the national data repository so that other local governments and all the agency, they don't have to reach us. They can directly take the data from their public repository that will be hosted by the National Statistics Office, government office. So that's the what one. Another one, partnership with university and local community. We are constantly working on that so that they can write about it, they can discuss about it, they can teach about it. That's another one. And we are intensively focusing on investing capacity building for the local volunteers, local teachers, and the community, like parents and community people. So like through My Village projects or other projects where we can have more people understanding CLA, citizen-led data, also understanding the action, how citizen-led action can support the to recover, to remedy, like provide remedial support for the children who are falling behind. And another one, we are focusing this year also enhancing digital tools and platforms through the SMS and phone-based support system to improve learning. So we piloted last year phone-based support in some villages. We are trying to scale that a little bit more when we have this lack of volunteers in villages, or when we have young people staying in urban area, or we have children in villages. So to meet this gap, we are hiring many young people in the urban area and trying to take their help to the phone support learning in the evening to the calling back to village, so in family. So that's what is low tech means. We don't need internet. Just Nepal has highest, like almost 125% phone penetration, but internet penetration only 60%, and digital literacy is so low. So I think only using the phone, voice over calls, can reach all kind of families, and we can take few like minutes or hours to support the children who are falling behind. So we see a lot of potential in using the phone support, low-tech support to reach more mountainous and isolated villages, even to recover, to address the challenge of this lack of volunteers, young people in the villages. So that's the. Also, we are focusing on continuing scaling our evidence-based advocacy, also providing reliable, timely, actionable data to policymakers, educators, community. We want to make our data more useful for the people in the community.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Data is important. I love also the partnerships that you've mentioned, the capacity building, the community involvement. That's a very holistic approach to contribute to foundational learning in Nepal. And now shifting gears, PAL is turning 10 years, and ASER-Nepal has been in this journey with the network for all this while. What role do you see PAL network playing in achieving an ideal state of foundational learning in the global south?
It's very, I think, important question. First of all, congratulations to all of us. Is a PAL now is turning 1 decade old. It is tremendous success of all of us, because it's not only one person effort, it's everyone. The PAL secretariat, all team, board members, member countries, and all those volunteers, actually. Thousands of volunteers every year making PAL as a PAL. So that is huge. And role of PAL is, I see, if you look last 10 years, very important. It plays a crucial role as a facilitator and knowledge hub and knowledge exchange across global south. So for the global south in foundational learning space, this is the only one larger stakeholder and player right now. PAL network also amplifies evidence-based advocacy, showcasing successful case studies, proven methodology. It is taking that and best practices internationally. You see, we have gone like, even ICANN, when we developed in 2019, even it reached wider communities, many countries, many organizations using it. Not only that, we also being awarded for the richness and for the quality and for the simpleness of this tool. So I see the role of PAL is being a collective global south voice on global education platforms. So PAL is representing global south very strongly on various global platforms, global advocacy. It's significantly contributing to strengthening local capacity. It means if there is no PAL, how our voices from community will reach the global platforms? I think PAL is connecting, bridging rural villages of Nepal, India, Bangladesh, maybe Mexico, Mozambique, Kenya, to the global goal setters or stakeholders in Geneva, in New York, in London. So I think PAL is being the voice and the breeze between locals to the global.
Thank you. That bridge is very important. I know we speak as a collective voice from the global south, strongly representing the voices of those children from marginalized communities in those mountainous areas in Nepal to the villages in Mexico and Colombia to Africa. So it's an incredible platform to voice the plight of all these children who need to acquire basic reading and math skills. Our final question here is: what do you think makes the network impactful?
It's interesting. Like, in my point of view, my personal opinion, first, PAL is very important, unique in terms of, also impactful in terms of South to South collaboration. Means South is leading. In many other, I have seen in platforms, they are saying, "Oh, South also knows," or Global South inclusion. So all are like tokenism, or just like mostly in the Global North. So Global South is taken just like consider making it more, just showing the inclusive panel. But PAL is the only platform where actually Global South is leading, Global South is speaking, Global South is showing the evidence by like very rigorous and very collective measure. So it's uniquely driven by solution tailored platform. And another one, I say PAL is the representation of the community-based assessment, citizen-driven data. So PAL is not government-generated data or authority-generated data lead. It is more focusing on the community ownership. More like, if you see the pyramid, is the bottom part of the pyramid is leading in PAL. So one is South-South collaboration, one is community-based solutions, and third, PAL is being also influenced in the global discourse. Many times, otherwise, before PAL, if you see, most of the time, it's some organization, individuals from certain global north deciding for all of us, even for global south. At least after the PAL, we are influencing what matters to us. Means for global south, PAL is taking that lead. Now coming with international common assessment of numeracy and reading, I think I can and I care. PAL is going to even have the also our own common tools, which is a really unique feature of PAL because it will make citizen generated data more stronger, more louder, and PAL will be more visible because it's not only global north or certain region of the world can do the common assessment. It's also PAL in the global south can do even like complex thing like the reading common assessment is some most complex thing because we have communities speaking different languages. PAL is leading in this measure. I really hope PAL is very unique and impactful in terms of being the leaders in the foundational literacy and citizen generated data in terms of community ownership, more reliable, transparent, and stronger evidence system.
Thank you, Rajiv. That's very well said. I have nothing to add on top of it. Thank you so much. That was our final question. I know we have so many points where we could dive deeper into the conversation, like dive deeper into my village experience, dive deeper into the upcoming ICA assessments. There's a lot to still talk about, but we'll keep that for the next conversation, next episodes. But that's all for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. I think what I said like last line maybe like achieving foundational learning goals requires I think collective action and innovation, also sustained partnership. The PAL network continually focusing on learning, sharing experiences. So together, I think we can ensure every child in the global south receive the foundational skills necessary for their lifelong learning and success. So we are committed for that. ASER-Nepal, I think, as a PAL also, PAL is committed for that. So it's not only 10 years. I think we have to celebrate 100 years. But 100 years should mark like not only focusing on foundational literacy, maybe will be more achieving like larger goals to ensure global south voice matters.
Awesome. Incredible. I have one final ask for you though. I want you to say congratulations, PAL, for turning 10 in Nepali. Can you give us a message in Nepali?
10 वर्ष पुगेकोमा धेरै धेरै बधाई छ.
I interrupted. Please do it again.
Okay. PAL नेटवर्कलाई 10 वर्ष पुगेकोमा धेरै धेरै बधाई छ.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rajib. That was our time. Thank you everyone for joining us for this episode. Until next time, it's adios from here. Bye-bye.